In 1922, oil was discovered in Venezuela. By 1929, this South American nation became the world's second largest oil producer. American companies rushed in to tap Venezuela's heavy crude oil. For decades, America and Venezuela were friends. In 1963, President Kennedy called Venezuela's president America's best friend in South America. Everything changed in 1999 when Hugo Chavez became president. In 2001, he passed a shocking law. Venezuela would control its own oil. All of it. American companies had to leave. The American government, pressured by oil corporations, couldn't accept this. In 2002, they tried to overthrow Chavez. The coup failed. In 2005, America imposed harsh sanctions. When Chavez died in 2013, Nicolás Maduro took over. By 2019, Trump blocked Venezuela's oil exports and pressured other countries to stop buying from them. But one fact remained. Venezuela had 303 billion barrels of oil reserves, the largest in the world, more than Saudi Arabia, Iran, or America itself. By the 1970s, many American refineries were built specifically for Venezuelan heavy crude, making alternatives costly and inefficient. And China was buying 68% of it. For American oil companies, this meant billions in lost profits. For Trump, it was personal. August 2025, while the world thought everything was normal, the CIA secretly sent a team into Venezuela. Their mission: track everything about Maduro, where he lives, travels, eats, even his pets. The team had no diplomatic protection. If caught, America would deny knowing them. They also had a spy inside the Venezuelan government, feeding them intelligence. The ground was being prepared. They just needed the right moment. November 2025, Trump called Maduro directly. The message was simple: give up your power and country. That's your best option. Maduro refused. Secretary of State Marco Rubio later said they offered Maduro generous deals, but he chose to act like a wild man. The moment Maduro said no, the operation kicked into high gear. In Kentucky, American forces built an exact replica of Maduro's house. Delta Force commandos practiced the raid repeatedly, memorizing every room and hallway. Fighter jets, Navy aircraft, and Reaper drones deployed around Venezuela. On Christmas Day, Trump gave approval. They chose this date because many Venezuelan soldiers would be on holiday leave, but bad weather hit Venezuela. The operation went on standby. America waited, watching the skies. January 2nd, 2026, the weather cleared. At 10:46 p.m., Trump gave the final order: go. Over 150 American military aircraft took off from 20 bases, all heading for one target. First came the cyber attack. Venezuela's power grid went down. Caracas plunged into complete darkness. Then airstrikes destroyed radar systems and air defenses around the city. 40 people died. The path was clear. 2 a.m., January 3rd, 2026. American helicopters raced across the ocean, flying just 100 feet above water to avoid detection. Delta Force commandos checked their weapons one last time. In Florida, Trump watched it all on live screens. At 2:01 a.m., the helicopters reached Maduro's compound. Guards fired. One helicopter took a hit, but kept flying. With a blast, commandos entered the building. Within 3 minutes, they reached Maduro's bedroom. The sound woke Maduro and his wife. His eyes went wide with terror. He jumped from bed and ran toward his steel-reinforced safe room. The commandos chased him. Maduro reached the door. His hands fumbled with the handle. Too late. Soldiers grabbed him before he could seal himself inside. 5 minutes from entry to capture. Trump later told Fox News, "It was just like watching television." But this wasn't television. This was real. The operation was over, but Maduro's journey was just beginning. Maduro was flown by helicopter to the USS Iwo Jima offshore, then to Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. Finally, on Saturday evening, he landed at Stewart Air National Guard Base in New York. Photos were released. Venezuela's president on American soil in chains. He would face trial in New York on drug trafficking charges many believed were created to justify the raid. The next morning, headlines screamed worldwide: Venezuela's president kidnapped by US forces. Trump claimed it was about drug trafficking, but then he slipped and revealed the truth. It was the greatest theft in the history of America. They took oil away from us. There it was, oil. It had always been about oil. The drug trafficking excuse didn't hold up. Most cocaine came from Colombia and Mexico, not Venezuela. Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Spain, and Uruguay called it a dangerous precedent. The UN Secretary General said it violated the UN Charter. China, Russia, and Norway condemned it. Many called it New Age colonialism. Even American lawmakers demanded Trump's impeachment. The Constitution requires congressional approval for war. Trump ignored it. Venezuela's Supreme Court made Vice President Delcy Rodriguez interim president. Trump threatened her. She went on TV and called it a savage attack. She refused American demands. Trump then threatened Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, and even India over buying Russian oil. India's Prime Minister Modi stayed silent, too afraid to speak. Trump violated American and international law, but America has veto power in the UN Security Council. No accountability, no consequences. Rules, it seems, are only for the weak. If America can kidnap a president to steal resources, what stops China or Russia from doing the same? The powerful will prey on the weak. The world inches closer to war. For the rest of the world, it was a nightmare becoming real. The question wasn't if this would happen again, but where and when. The end.